All right, what is up, Friar Faithful? We are back. It's been a while since I posted a video. Just been busy and haven't had time to post anything, but there's a lot to talk about. I got a lot on my mind, and had to make a video just to get some of my thoughts out there, have all these ideas rolling around in my head or thoughts rolling around in my head. I just had to come on here and make a video for everybody because there's just a lot going on with the Padres right now, and I think we need to talk about it. So what is going on? Man, there's a lot of good things going on, believe it or not. Even though we are down in the standings, we're under 500. There's still a lot of good things happening, and of course, there's probably, I would say, maybe more bad stuff happening. But let's start with the good stuff. One of the things I wanted to talk about is this recent win over Philadelphia. I had written off this series. I had just counted it as a sweep. I did not expect the Padres, to get swept by the Mets, but the way things are going, and it's just that's how it is with the Padres, right? You expect them to beat the weaker teams and then lose against the good teams, but it's usually the opposite. That's really what I want to talk about this series. Just try to keep it focused to something narrow. There's just a lot of things that are going on, but let's just try to talk about this last couple series. And one of the things that I will say is that, like I mentioned, I had written off the Padres on this series. I was like, there's no way they're going to beat the Phillies, and I always expect the worst, and hope for the best. And so when they didn't get swept, I was pretty surprised, especially in the manner that it happened. They actually won the game against a left-hander, and not just any left-hander, but Ranger Suarez. So for them to do that is unexpected. It goes against the narrative of they can't hit against left-handers. And I think that speaks to this bigger picture of, what are the expectations? And the Mets, when we played the Mets, it was like, oh, well, they're a lesser team than we are. They're way under 500. We should be able to beat them. They're no good. But you also have to remember they have some pretty good players on that team, just like we have good players. We got Machado, we got Tatis, Xander. If any of those three guys gets on a hitting streak, Padres are going to be a really tough team to beat. And so, if you got Francisco Lindor and the other players that they have on the Mets, if those guys get on a streak, they're going to be a hard team to beat. And so that's basically what I think happened in that series against the Mets. Some of their better players just were on a hot streak. And so, they won 7 games in a row. Yeah, we caught the Mets at the wrong time. They were on a hot streak, and they beat us. I just saw the Colorado Rockies beat the Dodgers. The Rockies are the worst. They're in last place in the National League West, and so for them to beat the best team, that's the unexpected. So the Dodgers caught the Rockies at the wrong time, and the Rockies caught the Dodgers at the right time. Dodgers weren't playing well. The Rockies were playing good. So there's all these, those are the factors, right? You can't just always assume, well, the bad team's going to lose. There's always these types of factors. And so, Ranger Suarez, maybe he didn't have as good of a day that day. And then the bullpen, their bullpen didn't do as well as they expected. So who expects Higgy to hit a 3-run triple? Off the Phillies reliever. That it's just the unexpected happens, and you get lucky sometimes. I think it was Brandon Marsh who missed that ball, who made it into a triple. The left fielder wasn't backing him up, so that ball just rolled into center field and gave the Padres enough time to clear the bases. So, these are the important things that we always forget about, and we just go with the narrative, which is, oh, the Padres can't win at home. Oh, the Padres are better on the road. Oh, the Padres can't hit lefties. You have to look a little bit deeper and see what's really going on with these players. But I want to give a big shout out to Matt Waldron. That is definitely something that's going well. Jazz Chisholm, you heard him the other day talk about, Matt Waldron is one of the, I think he said he's the best pitcher in baseball. Yeah, he said he's the best pitcher in baseball. And he also, in that same video, if you check it out, if I find it, I can put a link in the description. He also said he talked highly about Luis Ariz, who he used to play with. So, he talks about how he used to sleep with his bat, and whatever he did, Jazz would do, So, we have some good things going for us. We got Matt Waldron, who's killing the game. People are talking about this guy. He's the best pitcher. Something else I just learned this morning from Ben Higgins on Ben and Woods is that the Philly players were tipping the batters when Matt Waldron was going to throw a knuckleball. If they were standing on second base, they could see. If you watch on TV too, you can see his hand, the way he holds the ball. And I guess when he puts his hand in his glove, I don't know if he already has a knuckleball set up when he puts his hand in his glove, but the guy on second was able to see when signaling to the batter, and they said they still couldn't hit it. Even if they knew he was going to throw a knuckleball, they still couldn't hit the pitch. So big shout out to Matt Waldron. Apparently, he's somebody that could go to the All-Star game. I'm not sure when they vote on the pitchers, because I've been voting and I don't see any pitchers there. So if you know about that, please leave it in the comments. But I don't know who gets to select who the pitchers are going to be for the All-Star game, but I would love to see him in there. I would love to see Robert Suarez in there. So Suarez, again, another good thing going for the Padres. Suarez is an amazing pitcher. One thing I will say about Suarez, and this is he's won 18 games. He won, I think it was like 17 games in a row. He finally lost the second game against the Phillies, and then he redeemed himself and came back the next day and closed that game. Same thing with Estrada. But Suarez, I think what happened is he didn't want to throw his fastball, and that's what I think Harper hit the homer off of him. I think he just overthought it, and he didn't want to throw a fastball and get lit up, and so he threw some other pitch, a changeup or something like that, and that's exactly what happened. I don't understand why he wouldn't throw his fastball, which is what, his best pitch, right? He was not locating in that game when he came in on the second game against the Phillies. But other than that one game that he lost, he's won 18 of his last 19, I guess you could say, 19 games that he's been brought in. So SWAT is another really good thing that's happening for this team. Third good thing, so we got not Machado, definitely not Machado. We'll have to talk about that guy. But we got Matt Waldron and we have Jackson Merrill. Jackson Merrill is slaying this game right now. He's gotten like seven home runs or maybe 8 home runs in the last few games. I mean, he hit 2 home runs in one game. He had a walk-off home run in that same game. Jackson Merrill is just on fire. He's killing it. He's a rookie. He's 21 years old. People are not talking about him as much as they are talking about other rookies in the game right now, which I don't know what's up with that, but they need to start talking about Jackson Merrill more, and I think they will. You cannot ignore this guy. He's just over the top. He's just doing amazing, and he's just only going to get better. Okay, he's only going to get better at hitting, which he already is. He's slugging. His outfield skills are doing great, so he's only going to get better at being a center fielder if he stays in that position. So Jackson Merrill is another great positive that we have going on for the team. So now let's talk about some of the negatives. We don't want to talk. One last thing I'll say about Merrill is I did order some Bowman First Merrill baseball cards off of eBay, so I should be getting those in a few days, and hopefully I'll share them on the channel. A few negative things here. Manny Machado is hurt. His leg is hurt. He's recovering from an elbow surgery. He's banged up, and he does not go on the IL. He said it. Everybody knows that, so he is going to play injured. When he plays injured, he doesn't play as good. His elbow's messing up. I don't know if it's impacting his swing because his batting average is down, his slugging average is down. He is not doing well, but he's still fighting. There was a lot of criticism about his lack of hustle, the first base. Padre fans have known this, but I guess it must have had an impact because the last game against the Phillies, he hustled and he beat out that play. I couldn't believe that. I was like, wow, he actually, beat out that throw to first base. So he can hustle when he needs to. He says he's good, but he's not. He's not 100%, and he'll say he's not 100%. But like he said himself, 70% Manny is like someone else is 100%. So I don't want to spend too much time on Manny. Maybe in another episode. Let's see other negatives. Arraez was hurt a little bit when he hit head first into second base a couple weeks ago. I think he might still be recovering from that, but he seems to be coming back. He got a few knocks the last game against the Phillies. Tatis apparently is injured as well in his leg. You saw him run out that play at first, and he was limping after that. Obviously, Musgrove is still out. He's injured, and who knows when he's going to come back, which is a major, major concern. Darvish is still hurt, and who knows when he's going to come back. They say he's going to come back in the next rotation. Unfortunately, that means that Adam Major is going to pitch. I don't know if it's today. Things that are not going well, that is the things that are not going well. I guess one more thing I'll add to that is what is up with Schilt, man? Shilty. He likes to add a Y to everybody's name, so I'm going to add one to his name. What is going on with Shilty? This manager, man, this guy, he definitely has an interesting mindset. I hate that everybody says he's being positive. It's not that he's being positive. He's just detracting from the point. So being positive is one thing, but detracting and diverting is another. And that's what he's doing. It's not that he's trying to be over positive and things like that. No, he's just trying to detract from what the question is, or detract from what is the point. What is the real issue at hand here? Whatever it is, the slump, not being able to hit lefties, things like that. He doesn't want to talk about it. And so what does he do? He diverts, and so that's different from being positive. And so, I get tired of hearing people say, oh, he's over positive, he's too positive. No, he's not. It's not even that. He just doesn't want to talk about the negative stuff. And he does get defensive when reporters bring it up. So Shilty is another negative in the Padres organization, in my mind, in terms of when it comes to talking to the media. I don't know what it's like when he is in the locker room or in the dugout, but there was John Boy Media. If you see that video, it's all about optics for this guy, because he's telling the umpire, throw me out, throw me out of the game. You can see it in the video. You can read his lips. He's saying, you guys are doing a great job to the umpire. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you kissing the umpire's ass? If you don't want it, just don't go out there then. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't need to go out there. It's for optics. Manny already gave the umpire an earful. You don't need to go out there after Manny gets kicked out because you want to show how you're backing up your team, your players. What about Tatis? You ain't backing up Tatis. He gets thrown at every single game. They throw up and in at this guy. So, he says he's going to back up his guys, but then why don't you back up Tatis? And what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Throw the ball at the pitcher? So don't say stuff if you ain't going to follow through with it. It's just a show. You know what I mean? And people are starting to see that. They're seeing through Shilty. Honestly, I don't think he needs to say or do anything. Just manage the team. I think Shilty actually does a pretty decent job at managing the team, the plays, the bullpen, those types of things. He knows what he's doing when it comes to that. But in other areas like dealing with the media, he's not good at. It is what it is. Who cares, right? It's about what happens on the field. That's important. Let's see here. So let me just wrap it up with this. There is today a 619 Aloha night at Petco Park. This is my shirt from last year. Unfortunately, I can't go tonight, so I'm super sad about that. I have to go to a meeting, so I can't make it. You can see my free gear that I collect. I love collecting the bobbleheads and stuff like that. I do believe Adam Mazur's on the mound, which, we'll see what happens there. You can never underestimate the Padres. They got a lot of heat for all these losses that they, in New York and Philadelphia, but this team does fight. I will say that, and I get tired of hearing people say like, oh, these players, they don't care. They got their bag. They don't care. Once they get their bag, they're just not going to care anymore. That's a bunch of BS. Manny cares. Tatis cares. All these guys care. If you see how hard they play, they care. They hustle. They fight. They want to win. So quit it with they don't care, blah, blah, blah. One last thing I'll end on. Positive note is my boy, Jurickson Profar. This guy he is on it, man. He's on a good one. So make sure you go on to MLB.com and vote. It's not that hard. You just got to put your email address and answer a few questions. Just be careful at the bottom, though. There's a little checkbox that says, do you want us to send you emails from MLB.com? Just don't check that box, and you're not going to get a bunch of spam. So just go on there, vote for Profar, vote for all the Padres. You can vote for all the positions, first, second, third, fourth, the entire outfield. Tatis is actually up there as well. I haven't seen Merrill on there for center field. He's not ranking up in the votes, but still go on there and vote. Arraez is on there I believe he's up on there for second base. He's not on there for DH. They have Solano, I think, on there for DH, but go on there and vote. Make sure you do that. I can leave a link in the description for that too. So with that, thank you everybody for watching this episode. I appreciate it. Still trying to build this channel. Please leave a comment in the comment section below, and let's go. Peace.